Alright, how we all going, champions? I've got the old man. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say old man. That's a bit rude.
No,
Dom,
you're
with me
right
today.
enough, mate. You're right enough.
We're going to do a Corowa Australian craft whiskey that I really love. I'll just tell you a very quick little story of it. Victoria, it's on the New South Wales Victorian border. Beau is the distiller man's name. The peat comes from Scotland, and it's about $195 a bottle from memory. It's pretty good when you have a memory, eh?
It is, yeah.
My God.
You obviously haven't drunk enough yet.
Oh no, obviously. I've given Donald a taste so he could pair a cheese with it, but I'm just going to get Donald to quickly explain, because I always get Donald to do the cheeses, and he talks about whiskey, and people are probably wondering, well, what the hell does he know about it? So I'm just going to get him to quickly explain a bit about his past, I suppose,
Yeah.
so you understand why he talks about cheese and whiskey. While he's doing that, I'm going to have a snack and a feed, so go for it, bud.
Yeah, pour us some whiskey. That's always a good start.
You might do.
So my background is actually in the dairy industry and cheese. I've been in the cheese industry in various forms for about 35 years now. So I know a little bit about cheese. I've actually been drinking whiskey for a wee bit longer than that, to be honest. So whiskey is something that I've grown up with in Scotland, and I love very much. My view on a good whiskey, I've been asked several times, what makes a good whiskey? And I have a very simple answer to that, is if you drink a whiskey and you like it, that's a good whiskey. End of story. So I've grown up with whiskey, so I know some of the flavours that go with whiskey, and I know the cheese flavours as well. So trying to pair cheese and whiskey really comes across quite well. Everybody knows about cheese and wine, but cheese and whiskey really go well together as well. We've got some other cheese and whiskey pairings there on our Instagram page, and soon to be on our YouTube pages as well. So have a look at those. Go along and have a look at those. Shall we give this a go?
Give it a crack, my man.
Okay. So Corowa, it's a very iconic.
It's 55%.
So it's up there in alcohol content. So the first sip of that. I haven't drunk much of this yet, but you'd think the first sip of that would be really attacking. And yeah, it's got a little bit of spice in it, but it's not overly spicy. And once that spice goes away, those fruity flavours and those oaky flavours come through on that whiskey really nicely. So I need to pair that with something that complements that oak and that fruit. Now what I've paired this with is a very iconic English cheese, which is an English Red Leicester. What I've got here is an English Red Leicester from Thomas Hole, which is actually Long Clawson Dairy in the UK. I don't know how many of you know Long Clawson Dairy. They're actually iconically known for Stilton cheese, but they also make some other cheeses, and this one is one of their best Red Leicesters. Red Leicester's it's not a cheddar, it's a very iconic kind of cheese, quite an open cheese and very savoury. And the savoury notes here of the cheese complements that fruity, oaky flavours of the whiskey. So what I'm going to do here is kind of play with the cheese a little bit. And being a cheese grader in a former life, this is one of the things that you do to test the quality of cheese, in fact. So you take this down and you start to warm it up, which means that some of the volatiles in the cheese come through. Eat that, and as you chew that, you take a sip of the whiskey.
Sorry, reach your hands.
And the two together, those flavours just combine.
It's never dull.
It's never dull.
It's never dull. Even if you've got a whiskey that's not, would say it would be my favourite. But as soon as you start pairing it with a cheese, or maybe when we did the meats and cheese and things like that,
Yeah.
it adds another dimension to it all.
Yeah.
So it's.
I think this one, it takes me some time sometimes to
So that's just age.
taste.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you would know. So,
Exactly. No worries,
To
Bill.
pick the cheese that I really want to go with that. Sometimes I take my time and have to try 2 or 3 different cheeses to get the real flavour balance that I want. But the thing, when I tasted this one, I knew right away what I wanted to do with that. And a good red Leicester is what that pairs with. You might have another idea, get a bottle of Carawa, get some cheese.
Definitely get yourself a bottle.
Another go.
Craft whiskies are really good, eh? I've never.
Australian craft whiskies have to be amongst the best in the world.
Well, we're going to find out soon. I feel.
You think so?
Yeah, in the future, we're doing something that we might we'll put it out there when we're getting up closer to the time. We're going to put a couple of whiskies against another couple of whiskies just to see where we rate. I wouldn't say that we're going to be better, but we're just going to see where we rate. And so we've got a few fun things happening. I'm going to put you on the spot here. I'm going to give Donald a bit of a challenge. Because we know what he can do with cheese, and I'm going to get him to see if we can make a whiskey-infused cheese, which, yes, I know you can buy them.
Okay.
But we're going to have to go actually doing it. Because I found out that he said you could do it from your house. So that's going to be coming up soon. So, just keep following us. Any questions, anything you want to know, ask away.
Yeah.
I won't know the answers, but one of the other people will definitely know the answers for you. And, let's just crack
I
on.
always say when I'm talking to people, ask as many awkward questions as you like, because Baz will be able to answer them. So, no problem at all.
Good as.
Anyway, good as. Cheers. Say good night, Baz.
Good night, Baz.